Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. The cold, long Minnesota winter is now far in the rearview mirror. So much so that the spring is almost at its end as the hot, humid, buggy Minnesota summers come into view. With the arrival of the warmer temperatures, I've decided to embark on one of my more cool and interesting adventures, paddling down the historic St. Croix River Valley to a secret cave known as Knapp's Cave, named after a boat captain in the early 1900s who would take people down the river to show the cave. Today I will head down the river solo in search of this cave and hopefully get myself the adventure I'm seeking. Okay, so the plan for today is this cave that I have no real map to. I've got a marking on my Google Maps that I'm going to, and I'm about 95% sure that I know where this cave is at, the landing for this cave. But being all the vegetation is now grown in everywhere, it's going to be hard to find it because you're not going to see the cave from the river with the vegetation the way it is right now. So, like I said, I've got it marked on my maps, on my Google Maps of where I think it is, and I've done enough research where I'm pretty sure I know where it's at. But what a gorgeous paddle out here today. This has just been beautiful. Coming down the St. Croix River here is just gorgeous. I've already passed a couple campsites. I'd love to check out the campsites, but I kind of got an agenda today, so I'll check out the campsite some other day. I do want to take a trip out here one day and just do a water trail trip and camp at a campsite and go from one landing to another. But I'm hoping when I get to this cave today that it is going to be not too tight to do some spelunking. I kind of want to do some cave adventuring today, and but I'm not gonna be on my hands and knees. I'm not gonna squeeze into tight, teeny tiny little spots. I'm by myself, so I'm gonna stay safe today and do the smart things, but I'm really hoping I can get deep into this cave. As far as the stories have gone, the furthest anybody has ever made it into this cave is about 150 yards. So it goes pretty deep, but how much squeezing and crawling do you have to do to get to 150 yards? I don't know. So we're gonna find out when we get there. And I have seen that it looks like there are some other caves around that cave, smaller ones, but I'm gonna check those out too and see what those look like if I can find them. But what a gorgeous day on the river this is. I chose a great day to do this. Well, I could go in right through there, but I would be on my belly crawling, and a lot of cave spiders right through there. So that's a no-go. Not for me. Well, I can't see how much further it goes, but I'm pretty tight in here and I'm not getting in there. Like I said, I'm by myself. So, well, like I said, that's a little bit too tight for me. I'm already, as you can tell, pretty tight in here. So I am not going any further. It opens up in there. It looks like a little bit bigger than where I'm at now, but I'm not taking the chance I can't fit through this little space and I get stuck. So I'm calling it for this one. I wish I could have done a little bit more deeper spelunking, but this was still fun. Well, how cool is this? This is a cave that has been here for a long, long time. As far as from what I've heard, the history on this cave, it's been here since Native Americans used to stay here back in the day, living in this cave because it's big enough and warm enough and cool enough in the summers. But after even they were here, as far as I've heard, there was Swedish settlers that came into the area a long, long time ago, and they stayed an entire winter, a family, inside this cave. So I can't imagine being inside this cave for an entire Minnesota winter. But they did, and it sounds like they survived. But even after them, this was used for, as far as I've heard, cattle and horse thieves that came here and hid out from the law. So this cave has got a lot of history in it, and a lot of stuff has happened in this cave. It's amazing to think about what all has gone on in this cave in the hundreds and hundreds of years it's been here. So, but now it's just an attraction on the St. Croix Water Trail. So people get to come here and check out this beautiful cave. You don't get too many big caves like this in Minnesota where you can just freely explore, and it's not like a park or anything where you're restricted to certain things. It's nice to be able to come in here and explore as much as you want and do what you want in here. Well, this is definitely cool. I'm glad I did this. This is a cool cave. I didn't get to do as deep of a spelunking adventure as I'd like to do, but this was definitely cool and definitely worth it. And wow, once you get outside the cave here, boy, is it warm. It feels like it's about 20 degrees cooler in that cave right there. But oh, beautiful. You even got a gorgeous view of the river right behind you. So what I'm gonna do is, as far as I've heard, there's other, outside this cave, there's some other ones around the corners and stuff, some little ones. But I'm gonna check those out too and see what I can see. Well, this is pretty cool. I can get my flashlight out. This looks like it goes up kind of quick. Ah, look at that. It goes down there. I don't know if I should get on there or not. Okay, I'm walking down the river. There's actually like a little trail here going down the side of the river here. So I'm kind of checking out all these cliffs because it looks like there's some smaller caves, but I mean, nothing, you really can't see on camera, but nothing really worth climbing these steep hills to get to. I do see one that's up here that looks like it's worth the trek to get to. So I am going to try this cave up here, see if I can't get to it. Thought I saw it, now I don't see it. Oh, I think I saw what I thought was the cave. Alright, well, there's not the cave right here that I thought there was, but this is a definite trail coming here. Look at this. Like, I'm not sure how you get to this cave, and apparently it must be all the way from the Sioux Line Bridge down the river there. This must be the trail that goes to the cave then, I would assume. Didn't know there was a trail. All the research I've done, it says the only accessible way to this cave is paddling. If I knew I could hike right here, I would have hiked this. Because this is gorgeous. I mean, look at what I'm looking at. Okay, I'm on my way back. I haven't seen any more caves that are worth climbing these cliffs to get to. There's some tiny little ones that look like, animal caves, something like that, but nothing that a human can walk inside. So it is gorgeous along here, though. It is just beautiful in these woods. It makes for a gorgeous path, a little hiking path along here to walk. You can just check out all the cliffs. But what's really cool is it leads to that gorgeous, huge cave over here. And like I said, I would assume this trail goes all the way to the Sioux Line Bridge, so you may not have to hike or paddle all the way out here. You can probably just hike out here. You know where that trail is, or how to get to that. The trail's probably from the bridge. But this has just been a cool hike along here, just checking out all these cliffs. But also, that is gonna wrap it up. This was the adventure for today, and it was an adventure. And it's going to be another adventure just to paddle up river back to my truck. But it only took me about an hour and 15 minutes to paddle here from the Osceola landing. So it didn't take me too long. I would imagine it's probably going to be around 2 hours to get back. And that's if I don't take a break at one of the sandbars. But like I said, that calls it for this video. It was an epic adventure, epic cave. That was pretty darn cool. So definitely a fun time today. See you on the next one.